Mayor, is Trustee Steve. Steve, not S. S is not on Steve. It's not Steaves. It's Edward Steave. Two first names.
Okay, two first names. Trustee. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say to my board of trustees. And first I'll start with Trustee Steaves. You can come here to the Village Hall, pick up a physical copy, or it will be available on our Village website for a digital copy. Either or, you will have the budget and you can ask your questions, but ask all your questions through email so that we're not hours and hours on line item by line item. So that's being pulled. So again, the date is next Monday at 5 p.m. to vote on the budget. Next, old business.
Hold on, may I be recognized, Mayor?
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's up there. Seems like she's trying to, I don't know, rush through the budget discussion.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Trustee Ed Steave keeps signaling he's got something to say about it.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
Yep.
I know us as the Board of Trustees talked about doing a Finance Committee meeting to really open it up to the residents so they can look at it like we usually do. Is the whole board okay with meeting on this Monday to vote on this?
Okay.
I know we discussed, from what we discussed, the trustees discussed, we were not okay with passing this Monday. So any other trustees can chime in.
He's definitely trying to be respectful, but he's making it crystal clear that the entire board is united in their opposition to this budget as it stands.
Okay, well, everybody has a voice of their own, so I don't think you need to speak for anyone. So if any trustee have a comment as relates to having an actual meeting to pass the budget, which I did exactly what the board asked me to do, which is to hurry up and put the budget out. I did that. Some of you guys had questions and concerns, and we addressed them and we fixed the issues that you guys had. So I don't understand what else will hold up a budget but to go on and do what we need to do so I can do my job as mayor and run the city. So we need a budget in place because half of the stuff you did not want to pass or approve because it wasn't a budget. So I don't want to keep putting this out and pushing it back any longer. We did everything correct as related to letting the public know about a budget meeting, a budget hearing, and now I'm pretty sure that everyone's okay with passing the budget. When I got complaints or concerns as related to we didn't give a budget to you, a physical copy, or we didn't post it on the website, so I paused. And I pulled it from the agenda so that now the residents can be heard because I ran no transparency and accountability. So this is me saying, okay, residents, I hear you. Let's wait another 5 days. Monday, we will actually pass our budget. And again, if trustees got any questions, as always, my door is open, my staff door is open. You can talk to any village administrator or Chris to adjust or fix what you guys wanted. We did all those adjustments, and I thought we were all on one accord, so now I don't understand what the holdup will be.
It's like she's speaking a different language.
Right.
She doesn't address any of the specifics Steve raised about the tax increase or the bond. Instead, she just keeps saying she followed procedure and that she's been transparent.
It's classic deflection. She's trying to shift the focus away from the content of the budget and onto the process.
It's like she's hoping if she just says the word transparency enough times, it'll magically make everything okay.
Yeah. And it's pretty ironic given her track record, shall we say.
Especially given everything we know.
The fact that she keeps bringing up transparency and accountability when her actions have been anything but transparent.
So this is insulting.
It creates the sense of dissonance for anyone familiar with Dolden politics. It's like she's trying to rewrite history or at least control the narrative of the present.
Any other trustees so we can let
I just have one comment. I'm open to having the finance committee meeting, so Trustee Steve, Norwood, and everybody else, we'll communicate on how we could get that done.
Okay, so Trustee House, so you okay with doing it this Friday? Are you okay with having a finance meeting Friday?
I can't commit to that right now until I see the rest of my schedule, but I will be in communication with the rest of the board.
Okay.
Well, Steve doesn't back down. He immediately pushes back against Henyard's attempt to control the narrative. Let's hear it.
Okay, this is where things get spicy.
Trustee Steaves.
I want to say this. And I want to be respectful. But the whole board is not okay with this budget right now. They're still talking about a property tax increase. They're still talking about not reducing the bond. So you got to be mindful. All of us are adults, Mayor. You got to be mindful how you speak to us. You know, we're not little children. And that's how I feel like you're coming at us. The reality is all of us talk, and all of us are not okay with the budget right now. We're not trying to hold it off. But when we talk to Chris, he's still talking about a property tax increase. He's still talking about not reducing his bond. Then we're not okay with that right now. So we want to get that straight. So just to say, let's do it Monday, we're not okay with it. I will hope the other board members will give me feedback, because we all talked about this. We all talked about this individually. So if we want to do it Friday, I'm okay with that. But we talked about it next week. So when you said Thursday, Monday, me and Jason talked about doing it Thursday next week. So I understand people change, but let's be honest, trustees. We were not okay with this budget, and let's say how we feel instead of not saying it now in the public. And be mindful, Mayor, how you speak to us. We're not little children, and that's how you coming at us. Well, y'all should know, y'all flip flop. We seesaw. Don't come at us like that. That's disrespectful. Please don't do it like that. So I'm saying is that when you speak to us in a respectful way. At the end of the day, you need us to pass this budget. We want to pass this budget. We care about the people. We don't say that. Don't act like we don't care about the people. We want to get this thing right, but we're responsible for the money. If we're responsible for the money, we're going to make sure this thing is right. We're going to make sure it's transparent as possible before we vote on it. And we can get everything that you want. Everything that's in there is needed. I was at Public Works today. It's needed. But I do want to make sure it's right before it's passed.
He's trying to maintain a sense of decorum and professionalism, even though she's not exactly reciprocating.
And I think he's doing a good job of it.
It's interesting how he emphasizes that they're all adults and deserve to be treated with respect. Like he's trying to appeal to a sense of fairness and remind everyone that this is about the budget, not about personal grudges.
Yeah. And he's also subtly highlighting the power dynamic at play by reminding her that they're elected officials just like her.
He's not letting her diminish their authority or dismiss their concerns.
And he's not letting her off the hook for trying to paint them as obstructionists.
He makes it clear that they're not trying to delay the process. They just want to make sure it's responsible and in the best interest of the community.
Exactly.
I'm really curious to see how she responds to this. It seems like he's effectively challenging her control of the narrative. And I doubt she's going to take that lying down.
Oh, I guarantee she's going to have something to say about this.
Okay. So, Trustee Steve, I don't talk to anyone like they're a kid. I'm stating facts up here as it relates to, you just ask them yourself. You guys, we all spoke. Tell her how you really feel. Okay, so that means that someone's not being honest about whatever it needs to be. When we get to the board meeting, it's a whole different ballgame. After we all spoke, everybody tell me, yeah, we good. And then when we come here, it's, nah, well, let me think. Well, let me change my mind. All I'm saying to everyone here is be a woman, be a man about it, and stand on whatever your decision is. Stop letting outside interference, because I keep calling it outside, that's what it is. Get in people's heads and decide which way you go. You live here. They don't live here. So they shouldn't have to be able to control or tell you what it is that they want you to do with your town, is what I'm stating for you. Now, as it relates to anything else in the budget, you can do so. You don't have to. Make sure that you live up to what you say you're going to do as well. You and I did speak, and I told you, just like I tell you here in front of everybody, when it's a problem or issue, you call me. You let me know it. But you'll call me the day of the meeting and say, well, I got a problem with this, or I got a problem with that. And communication go both ways. It's not one-sided. It shouldn't be just Henyard call everyone. Everyone can reach out to me as well. So I'm going to wrap this up because we need to move forward. Any other trustee want to say anything besides what we just went over that did not speak?
Oh boy.
So much for taking the high road.
I know, right? She's doubling down on the deflection tactics we talked about earlier. Instead of engaging with the substance of their concerns, she's resorting to personal attacks and accusations.
And the way she just brushed off Steve's comment about being treated like a child and then immediately tells the board to be a man or a woman about it. I mean, come on. And then to top it all off, she throws out this wild accusation about outside interference. It's like she's trying to create a conspiracy theory to explain why the board is disagreeing with her.
It's a very calculated move by suggesting that the board is being influenced by outside forces. She's trying to undermine their credibility and paint them as puppets rather than independent representatives of the community.
It's a way to stoke those fears and rally support behind her.
You're right, it taps into that populist sentiment of us versus them. It's a way to distract from the real issues and create a sense of solidarity against a common enemy, even if that enemy is largely imagined.
And notice how she tries to tie this back to her campaign promise of transparency. She's saying that this outside interference is somehow preventing her from being transparent with the community.
By claiming that she's the victim of some shadowy outside forces, she's attempting to deflect any blame for the lack of transparency onto others. She's turning herself into the hero fighting for the people against a hidden enemy.
It's really a masterclass in manipulation and misdirection. She's completely avoiding accountability for the budget itself, and instead she's trying to turn this into a drama about loyalty betrayal and shadowy figures pulling the strings. It's exhausting just listening to it. I can only imagine how the board members are feeling right now.
It's clearly a frustrating situation, especially for those who genuinely want to engage in a substantive debate about the budget and the future of Dolton. But as we've seen, Henyard seems more interested in maintaining her power and control than in having an honest conversation about the needs of the community.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is D, discussion only, amended ordinance number 1-6-7, appointment of standing committees. Trustee Steaves.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we amend the ordinance 1-6-7, appointed standing committees. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're just discussing. I'm sorry. That's on me. I want to move this forward so we can change this ordinance and go back to the original ordinance and get this on the next agenda, which is, I think, October 4th.
Okay, so Trustee Steaves, you would like to switch it from the way it is currently structured to which way?
I'll go back to the amendment where the trustees make the appointment to the committees.
It's open for discussion, guys. Anybody want to discuss the item, or do you want to elaborate, or?
No, I don't think I need to elaborate. We just want to move forward with this and get this on the next agenda so we can vote on this and we can move forward.
Okay, so I guess I have a little discussion as it relates to it. What's your reason for making the suggestion that we go back to the old way, Trustee Steaves?
It's disappointed with the way that the executive or the president is doing it. So we want to change it back to where the trustees make the appointments.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, and you're saying you're disappointed in the way that it's being done, meaning what? Because everyone has a committee, everyone kind of got what they want. What are you disappointed in?
We asked for a housing committee since the new administration took over.
Okay.
It hasn't been done. And then the statement of, well, things are not getting done, things are not moving forward, so we kind of waited on the administration to do certain things. They didn't do it, so it's a legislative power. We can do it, and we change it.
Yeah, I'm not against whatever you choose to do. I'm just asking for clarity and reasons, so myself and the entire community understands why you want to make the change. So you're saying that you didn't get a house committee. I know that I did compromise. I'll say I never do. I spoke to Trustee Norwood as related to getting a housing committee and put it together. So that's why I'm asking what is the reason for it. Everyone has a committee. No one was left behind at all when I got in office. So what I'm going to do is take you down memory lane. And the reason why I'm doing this, so everybody understand and got clarity of what's going on. I recall, and I wrote it just so y'all can all follow me. I recall that this board previously, Trustee House, Trustee Brown, and Trustee Steaves, meaning you all sat back and allowed the previous mayor to not allow me to sit on any committee or chair a committee, for that matter. So basically, everyone had their committees but myself when I was a trustee. And the reason for me bringing this up is because when I officially got sworn in as mayor on May 8th, I vowed that the past was the past and we will move forward as one. So with that being said, Trustee Steaves, you came to me and asked if you could continue to chair Public Works. I had my hesitation due to the fact that you allowed the previous superintendent to run public works into the ground, leaving the residents without their due services, which I am currently fixing. So with the proper supervision and myself and the new superintendent, Stacy Corral, public works has been running smoothly. So I feel that I've given everybody their due process as related to picking a committee and chairing a committee. I left no one behind. And I wanted to make sure that everybody.
You know, it's interesting because on the surface, she's talking about competence, right? Making sure the committee's in good hands.
Sure.
But the way she phrases it, it's almost like she's trying to discredit Steave. I see what you mean. Like, she's all, I brought in this new superintendent, Stacy Corral. Things are finally getting fixed.
Right.
So it becomes less about Steve's abilities and more about her, you know, being the savior of public works.
Yeah, very much a look at what I've done kind of thing.
Exactly. And then she goes on to say, with the proper supervision, meaning myself and the new superintendent.
Oh, wow.
Like, come on, why does she have to insert herself like that?
Yeah, that's pretty blatant.
It just screams control, right?
Totally. It seems like she wants to micromanage everything in public works.
Which makes you wonder, why is public works so important to her?
Got what they wanted. Now, when I came in, as relates to the housing committee, I felt that that was something that should be everybody included. It should have been a decision that was made of the entire team, meaning 6 heads was better than 3. So we have committee of the whole, which we have the third Monday of every month. And I felt the need that everyone should speak on housing because it was so touchy in our community and we needed a bigger outlet than just 3 individuals deciding which way we go with it. So that was my reason for why we didn't have a housing committee, which I know I spoke with my team that I got elected into office as trustees and they knew my directions for not having a housing committee. So now I just want everybody to know where I stand with that. Any more discussion?
Yes. May I be recognized?
Go ahead.
May I be recognized?
Yes, go ahead.
With all that being said, you know, you say let's go back in history. Let's quote Trustee Henyard. I don't know why, and I'm quoting this from the May 6, 2019 board meeting. Trustee Henyard said, I don't know why the trustees will give their power over to the mayor. That should be that should be the board decision. Now, Mayor Henyard doesn't agree with Trustee Henyard. All I'm saying, I'm going back to that because you were disagreeing with how the previous mayor did it. We're in disagreement with how you're doing. And that's what I'm saying. We're moving forward, make the decision to move forward, and it's within our right to do. And that's all I got to say on that.
Okay. Now, okay, one second, Trustee Norwood. So that's untrue as it relates to a disagreement with what I said as trustee and what I'm doing as mayor. Currently as mayor, if I'm saying that I've given everybody everything they asked for, I don't understand what would be the problem that we have to go backwards, is what I'm saying. And the reason why I cited exactly what you have done or didn't do as a trustee when you chaired that seat that you're in now, I didn't come in malicious or switch anything from you or take anything from you. I made sure you was included in the overall view of the town. So that is my reason why I'm saying, why are you doing this now when you didn't have any voice when I was a sitting duck as related to a trustee and you guys didn't allow me to sit on any committee and you sat back as a trustee, all of you. So I'm saying now everyone has something and like you sitting there without nothing to do. So I'm still have confidence and faith in you, Trustee Steaves, that you're going to do okay with public works and make sure that we get what we need because guess what? You got my help. I'm helping you make sure that department stays up and get done all the way. Okay. And we have E, discussion only, amending ordinance number 19-009, advice and consent. Trustee House.
Mayor, before discussing that, I think, do we need to do a consent vote moving that forward to the October 4th meeting?
Sure, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, motion to move forward. Trustee Steave,
Aye.
Trustee Norwood,
Aye.
Trustee Belcher,
Aye.
Trustee Holmes. You're on mute, Holmes. You're on mute. Well, while you're coming off, you said aye. Trustee Brown
Aye.
and Trustee House.
Yes.
Okay, and that's motion to move forward.
Okay, and then just for the record, Trustee House, when one of you trustees want to put something on the agenda, it automatically goes on the agenda. So we didn't have to do a consent, but I just allowed you to do it. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
With E.
E is amending an ordinance that was previously in record regarding the hiring and firing of village officials, requiring the advice and consent of the board. Just to, I guess, clearly stated, this does not remove any hiring or firing authority, but it does require the additional step that these processes be done with the with the approval or a majority vote of the Board of Trustees. The reason for this being on there is there have been several phone calls that I've received and maybe some other trustees as well, regarding employees having concerns that if they did not follow directives, that there would be some terminations or some kind of retaliation. There were concerns listed from employees about the mandatory meetings and setting up or breaking down meetings, and if they did not follow through with what would be done, and then also just wanting to be more knowledgeable about the process and making sure that the hiring process is done with background checks and everything else. So that's why this is up here for discussion, and a similar request that this be moved forward to the following meeting.
Okay. So as it relates to hire and fire, I do believe or feel that it is the mayor's responsibility, which I am the CEO of the town. I see the Board of Trustees don't understand their responsibility. So let me enlighten you all. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot appoint. That is solely the job of myself, the mayor. Basically, when you guys get involved, FYI, you are involved in employment decisions, which you will and can get named in the lawsuit as well. So that's just a FYI for those that don't know or that's new to this. When you guys give power of hire and fire, y'all have done that, and several people have got fired from the village of Dalton in the past, and no one did anything about it but Trustee Henyard. So when you guys say now you worried about me firing someone, all department heads was my picking or my choosing, because it comes with the job of appointing them. So I don't understand when y'all say y'all get phone calls from department heads when they are all came in with my administration. That's number two. Trustees, I just need you guys to make sure that you understand your duties as trustees, which you guys legislate and not govern the town. I'm okay with whatever decisions you guys make, but I'm for the record making my statement so you understand where you stand and where I stand. That's it. That's all. And I just want to make sure y'all understand that you guys want me to wait if it's a situation here at the village, say, for instance, a fight breaks out between two employees or they got an issue. So when we wait for 48 hours to call you, make a posting of a board meeting before we can discipline a staff member. That is not how government is ran. That is not how operations is ran. Any CEO or any boss or whatever you want to call a person always run their administration. So that's what way I feel with advice and consent. All right. So with that being said, trustee, when I speak of I, me, or what I've done, I am speaking for Tiffany Henyard, mayor. So I can't say we because you guys didn't make the decision. I did. So it's no knock to anybody because I'm going to speak in first person because I'm the one that's taking responsibility for any of my actions. So let's get that clear. And when I say CEO, I am. I'm the one that runs the town. I'm the one that gets talked about. I'm the one that always go on the headlights when anything, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, happen in the village of Dawson. So I always speak of I or me. Now, when we decide to become a team and a unit and move it, so then you will hear Mayor Henyard saying, we decided to do this. I've included y'all in several things. You don't even show up. So you can't say that I don't say we, because I put we on flyers and on different things. And as a group, we decide to go this route or do what we're doing now. So when it comes to consult and consent of agenda for hire and fire, I'm okay. If y'all want to decide to do that, like I said, the trustees can move how they want. Everybody got to understand their position, their power, and what they can do as a board member. I am the mayor. I have executive powers, just like you guys are the trustees. Y'all legislate. What that means is you make laws. You vote on the money. That's what y'all do. I govern. I run the town, the day-to-day operation, the police, the fire, the housing, all of the department heads. That's my job. So that's what I'm trying to make sure you understand as a trustee. And I wish everybody just learn their position and stop bucking at me for whatever I'm doing and let me be great and be the mayor. That's what I need people to do.
Can I be recognized?
Yes, go ahead, Trustee Steve.
And respectfully, I wish everybody would learn their position. The same thing, Mayor. We hope you will learn your position. And it's crazy. This is from the same trustee who took that hire and fire away from the previous mayor. You know why you said it's all video. I don't trust this mayor. He will be very vengeful. He'll fire somebody because he didn't speak to him. He didn't do this. What I'm saying is that we're looking at you the same way. So you're saying we got to learn how to legislate. We got to learn how to do this. Now you're giving us this lecture what we got to learn how to do. Please, Mayor, could you learn how to include your board? You talking about the flyers? Them flyers don't have the Village of Dalton trustees. They have Mayor Tiffany Henyard on every flyer you put out. Believe me, I look at it.
I mean, her name is everywhere. Her photo front and center.
Wow.
It's almost like they're campaign materials, not just, notices about a village barbecue.
Oh, that's interesting.
So what I'm saying is that it starts with you. And I guess, you're new at this. We're all new at this, but you're new at being a mayor. And you got to learn how to being a leader is not dictate and tell them I'm the mayor, I'm doing this. Who passed that budget? It wasn't you passed the budget. It was us that passed the budget. Who put this money in? You presented the budget to us and we passed. It's a team effort. And the more, if you don't start talking about we team, it starts with you. You can't require something of us that you can't require yourself. So I'm saying moving forward, this talking, this tone, you have to change this, Mayor. You have to, because you'll never inspire us want to work with you, coming and talking like dictating us until y'all need to learn. Y'all need to legislate. Y'all need to legislate from the very trustee who was the loudest one about you have to run this between your board. You have a board, Mayor. You have to do this, Mayor. All that stuff is everybody remembers that because you were the loudest one. So now you're in the mayor's position. I thought you have to learn how to lead people. And that comes with time and maturity and advice and people who, so you're telling us we need to learn. I'm hoping that you will learn because you don't know this. You only did it in 3 months. You ain't no master at this yet in 3 months. So we all have to learn, but stop dictating us, telling y'all need to do this. Y'all need to learn. Y'all need to learn. That really going to inspire us to really work with you. Come on, stop that, please. That's respectful.
Okay, next on the agenda is new business. A, discussion and possible action regarding appointment of village administrator. Is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Is there a second? No second. Okay, then it dies. It's crazy. And I'm gonna say this again. Yes, I'm gonna make my statements as we move along. A lot of people that watches us and see every board meeting see the division and the tension between myself and my board of trustees. And it's sad, regardless of you guys choosing to vote for one or not, you guys know that I can still appoint the VA for village administrator. Currently now, you just heard and the residents just saw, we do not have a village administrator. So how dare my board not vote for a village administrator to run the day-to-day operation, which you guys know, Dorothy last day really was last week. She came in today to just finish up the board meeting and little stuff around here. We are in need of a village administrator. I think the person that I've chosen, which his name is Keith Freeman, will be a great attribute to Dalton. And we so need new direction, and structure. So thank you, Keith Freeman, for coming on board. If you could just introduce yourself to my Dalton residents so they'll know what we are doing now, since the Board of Trustees chose not to second Trustee Holmes' motion to appoint you for our new VA. Keith,
There's a reason for that. I would like to say something to that.
okay, hold on 1 second. If it's a reason, you could have second, we could have discussed, put up for discussion, and you could have talked about it. Well, y'all know how this goes. That's why I always say, Robert Rules of Order, no one wants to follow them. So let me finish, trustee, then I'll give you the floor. So Keith Freeman, if you would, just introduce yourself to my Dalton residents so they can see my choice. How you doing? This is Keith. Go ahead, have the floor.
I'm doing well. Hello, Mayor Henyard and Madam Clerk, trustees, and residents of Dalton. I think this is an exciting time for everyone, and I am more than happy to have multiple conversations with everybody about the direction in which we feel like as a group we should move forward. I appreciate Mayor Henyard as well as the trustees' conversations over the last couple of days. I think that everybody's opinion and everybody's thoughts were very valuable. I think that you guys are thoughtful in your approach, and I appreciate everyone's time and consideration. And again, thank you for the opportunity, even though this is pretty awkward. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Freeman. Trustee, go ahead.
Again, this is not the correct way to do it. We found out about him when we got the agenda. We talked to him on Sunday for 20 minutes. Again, no background check was given, even though we implemented, we passed it to get the background, that still hasn't been given. We got his resume as we were talking to him. So this mayor was a trustee for 8 years. This was not brought across the board the right way. It's the last minute, and then it's forced on us. And then you wonder why we do this. You know this is the wrong way to do this. You complained about this for 8 years. You did it all wrong. You can't get this to us on Sunday. We talked to him on Sunday for 20 minutes. That wasn't even enough time for two trustees to talk to him. And I told him today when I talked to him, you don't have the vote. We don't have the vote because we don't know him. We don't have enough time to sit down to vet him to get our right answers. And then this mayor had a history of hiring people without the correct background check. So there's no background check on him right now. We don't know nothing in his background. So if you do it the correct way, Mayor, which you know how to do, because you complained about it heavy for 8 years, you're doing it wrong. You cannot just force this on. You have to work with your board, Mayor. You have to work with your board. Remember that statement that you said over and over again? You're not working with your board. You're forcing this on us, and you're just shoving it down our throat. You have to learn to work with the board, period. If you don't learn to work with the board, this is what happens. This is not on us. This is on you. Your leadership is doing this. And I talked to Mr. Freeman. This is all wrong. This whole presentation, how you brought him to us, is wrong. It's wrong. It's 3 left feet. So that's why we didn't vote for him. And I'm not saying we're not going to vote for him in the future because he has high recommendation. We talked to other people that know him. But the reality is you brought him in all wrong, and you know you was wrong. And this is your reflection of leadership. So you got to change it up if you want him to get past it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to try to point him once a month because you're going to do what you want to do. Then we're not going to pay him because we're the ones that oversee the payroll, what goes get paid. So if you want to continue this route, I thought you would start off early in this new year better, but obviously you're starting off the same way. I want to do it your way. This is not, you running this thing like it's Death Row Records and you Suge Knight. And that's not the reality. You have to learn to work with us, period.
Next, we have corporate bills. Trustee.
I got a question for a department head. May I be recognized?
We're done with the reports right now, trustee. So if you want, you can email it to them or text them to go over it.
Can the host stop muting me, please? Whoever the host is, stop muting my mic.
So they just told you guys, if you're not recognized or nothing going on, everything will be muted so we can move on with our agenda. If you have hold on, trustee. If you have any questions for any department heads or anyone on here, you guys can email them so we can move forward with our agenda.
If only thing about that, I asked a question to the department, I don't get the answer. We asked about the amnesty program 5 times already with the water department. We haven't got the answer, nobody. So we wait for a public meeting. We haven't got that answer from Mr. Moore yet.
Okay, so again, if you saying you haven't gotten any answers as relates to things from any department, I always tell you guys, and I'll say it again, call my phone. I tell y'all that always. So when we don't have to get here to this board meeting, you say that someone did not give you any information. I cannot address nothing if I don't know about it. So again, I'm directing you to basically either call me, send an email, call Keith Freeman. He's been very open to everybody here on this board, and everyone talks to everyone. So it's not a problem. So just if you could use any one of them outlets.
That's just not reality, but okay, that's just not gonna happen. You know, I should be able to ask the department head a question. I asked him to come to my meeting. He didn't come. I asked him a few times. I asked Keith about the amnesty. Stop unmuting me. I'm talking right now. Whoever the host, stop unmuting.
Okay, so
Let me finish my point.
Trustee,
you, I'm done.
your point is noted. We're gonna just move forward. If you could, you and I can talk after the board meeting to get whatever address that you need. So next we have corporate bills, Jason House. Trustee.
Okay, well, now I was confused. Trustee Steve, were you finished with your point? I will yield my time to him if he had.
Yeah, I was finished, but they keep unmuting me in the middle.
Point of order, guys. Point of order. So what I'm stating is that we would address any of his concerns after the meeting. I would like to move forward with the agenda. So we can move forward with the corporate bills. Trustee House, you have the floor.
So Mayor, so I'm gonna pause for a moment because I understand what you're saying and we all want to get through the agenda. But I feel that we're gonna waste more time having these discussions versus just actually asking a question and addressing it. So that's why I chose to yield my time. And should I do so? I think that is completely inconsiderate to just mute somebody during their speech. So if Trustee Steve is done, I will proceed with corporate bills. However, that was my reason for yielding.
Okay, point of order. Once again, we're gonna move forward to the corporate bills. We're not gonna have a debate or discussion as relates to question Q&A. If anyone have any questions, I'm telling you guys the proper way to handle it so that we can take care of the business here at the board meeting and not put on a show as relates to back and forth. So if anybody have any questions, you can reach out to Keith Freeman or myself to address any concern anyone has. So him asking him a question or going back and forth is not going to get anything accomplished tonight. So if you would call my phone or call Keith or email Keith, and we will address anything that any board member has moving forward. So right now we are on corporate bills.
So Mayor, is your stance that the board is not allowed to speak with department heads?
It is not, trustee, and I'm not about to do that with you. I'm not about to go back and forth. So is you going to move forward? I need to call on someone else to go over the corporate bill, sir.
I just wanted an answer to the question. That was all, Mayor.
It's been answered and we moving forward. So here we go. Point of order. Move on. We on corporate bills.
If we don't help, hold on.
Hold on, Trustee Steaves, we're not about to do that tonight. Trustee House, we're not about to do that.
Okay, so maybe let's have this whole conversation. Can I motion that we go to executive session to discuss the proper way, so that way we're not here?
No, we're not. We're about to move on to corporate bills.
We're either going to motion to go in.
Either going to motion to go into executive session.
Or motion to adjourn.
We'll adjourn the whole meeting.
But that's on you guys. We still have to take care of the business at hand, which is pay the bills. Because everyone throws tantrums, people get mad. Y'all got to be adults. We can't sit here and say,
my motion is to go in executive session. May I ask for a second?
You out of order, trustee.
Second.
You're out of order.
I'll second.
We're not gonna sit here and keep pausing when everyone gets upset about something. We move on with the business. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna answer whatever questions you need. Don't come to a board meeting and do this. This is what we do because people don't get their way. So
you've been the queen of doing petty stuff since you've been in office.
We're not about to do that. Are we moving on to corporate bills?
No, we're not moving on to corporate bills. We're gonna make a motion to it.
Okay, well, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Can the host stop muting me while I'm speaking?
Oh, go ahead.
Disrespectful as hell.
What's your motion?
Stop muting me.
Trustee Steve is trying to ask a question and he just gets cut off mid-sentence, muted.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. And like the sources we're looking at, they don't explicitly say who did it, but all signs point to
speculation's running wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it was the new village administrator, Keith Freeman, but it really is the reactions that tell the story.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, just to see, like, Steve is clearly trying to speak up and he's getting shut down, and then the other trustees are like, no, wait, give him his time. You know, like,
exactly.
They want to hear what he has to say. And then on top of all this, you've got Mayor Henyard, notorious Mayor Henyard, chiming in with, we'll just call my phone or send an email.
During a public meeting. I mean, can you believe that?
Seriously. A public meeting that's supposed to be about transparency.
Exactly. This isn't how you run a transparent government.